The day began with the sound of gravel crunching under heavy boots. On a small farm outside a quiet town, 17-year-old Emma adjusted her straw hat and wiped the sweat off her brow. Life here was simple but demanding, early mornings feeding animals, afternoons tending to crops, and evenings spent with her younger twin sister, Lily. To most people at school, Emma seemed like the quiet farm girl who kept to herself. She rarely spoke, her hands often calloused, her clothes simple. But behind that quietness was a fire that almost no one knew existed. Lily, on the other hand, was the sunshine of their family, gentle, cheerful, always humming while she worked. She had the kind of kindness that made people want to protect her. But that same kindness made her an easy target. The school bullies noticed. And they decided to strike. It started with whispers in the hallways, snickers at Lily's hand-me-down clothes, cruel comments about her farm smell after chores. At first, Lily brushed it off. "They don't know me," she told Emma with a brave smile. But Emma saw the way her sister's eyes watered when she thought no one was looking. Each cruel word chipped away at Lily's joy, and Emma's blood boiled. The bullies grew bolder. They shoved Lily's books to the ground, blocked her locker, and one afternoon, they cornered her near the old gym. Emma wasn't there that day, busy delivering feed to a neighbor's barn. By the time she returned home, she found Lily sitting on the porch, hugging her knees, her face bruised from a shove that had sent her falling. Emma crouched beside her, brushing away her tears. She didn't ask what happened, she already knew. "Don't worry, Em," Lily whispered. "I can handle it." But Emma's silence wasn't agreement. It was a storm building. What no one at school knew was that Emma carried a secret. She had been training in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for years. After their father passed away, Emma had found an outlet in martial arts. Their mother scraped together enough for lessons, knowing Emma needed strength not just for herself, but for her sister too. Over time, Emma became ruthless on the mat, disciplined, precise, dangerous. But she never bragged, never showed off. She stayed the quiet farm girl, hiding her steel behind humility. The breaking point came one Friday afternoon. Lily was walking home, her backpack swinging at her side, when the group of bullies followed her to the edge of the dirt road. They circled her like wolves, mocking her patched clothes and farm girl smell. One of them reached out, yanking her braid. Another shoved her shoulder hard. Lily stumbled back, her voice trembling as she pleaded for them to stop. That's when Emma appeared. She had been walking from the other direction, her eyes narrowing as she took in the scene. "Let her go," Emma said, her voice steady, carrying across the dusty road. The bullies laughed. "And what's the quiet little farm mouse gonna do about it?" One sneered. Emma walked forward, The gravel road to the farmhouse was long and lonely, the kind of place where the world felt far away. Emma liked it that way. To her, the rhythm of farm life, the bleating goats, the wind in the wheat, the clucking hens, was peace. She didn't need much else. But her twin sister, Lily, was different. Lily was sunshine wrapped in freckles, always talking to the animals like they were her best friends. At school, their differences stood out even more. Emma stayed quiet, blending into the background. Lily tried to make friends, her laugh lighting up classrooms. But that same innocence drew unwanted attention. The bullies didn't just see Lily as weak, they saw her as entertainment. It started small. A stolen pencil. A cruel nickname whispered in the hallway. But cruelty grows if it isn't stopped. Soon, Lily's books were thrown into the mud outside. Her clothes, already patched from farm wear, became the subject of loud jokes. Once, someone even tripped her in the cafeteria, leaving her food tray splattered across the floor while everyone laughed. Emma watched from the sidelines, fists clenched under the table. She had promised herself never to show her strength at school. She didn't want attention, didn't want people to know what she carried inside. But watching her twin suffer in silence tore her apart. Lily pretended it didn't bother her. "It's fine, Em," she whispered one night as they folded laundry together. "They just don't understand us. I don't want you to get in trouble for me." Emma swallowed her anger. She wanted to scream that Lily deserved better, that she shouldn't have to accept cruelty as normal. But Emma only nodded, hiding the storm in her chest. What no one knew, what Lily herself didn't fully realize, was that Emma had been training in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu since she was 13. After their father's passing, their mother had noticed the anger and pain boiling inside Emma. She enrolled her in a small dojo in town, run by a retired champion who believed in discipline above all else. Emma never missed a session. She learned to lock, sweep, and choke with precision. The mats became her therapy, her battlefield, her forge. Years later, Emma was ruthless on the mat. Yet she carried that strength in silence. She didn't boast. She didn't show off. To everyone at school, she was just the quiet farm girl who sat by the window and smelled faintly of hay. Until the day the bullies went too far. It was a Friday afternoon, warm and golden, when Lily stayed late for choir practice. Emma walked ahead, carrying a sack of feed home, when she realized Lily hadn't caught up. She doubled back, only to see a circle forming near the old gym wall. 4 of them. Laughing. One of them had Lily's backpack, tossing it around like a toy. Another yanked at her braid, making her stumble. Lily's voice cracked as she begged, "Please, just give it back." The laughter grew louder. Then one shoved her hard enough to make her fall to her knees. Something inside,